Alright dudes, I'm going to make this tutorial. To start off, you probably want to start in 1280, 7 whatever resolution. And I'll show you the reason for that. It's because the color picker in the create mode does not have, it's not attached to the GUI just yet. So let's say when you press the color here, this the color picker is over here behind all these buttons and stuff. So alright, I'll kind of run through this to show you guys how to run everything. Play mode does not work. Create mode, there is three sections that work right now. That's character models, items, and animations. I'll show you the character models first. This is the default guy. To control the cameras, it's mouse scroll to zoom in and out. Click in the middle mouse button and move the mouse, and that will turn your camera around. It's the same controls over here on this big screen. Down here, blue, the blue marker, this is like a cheap compass that I put together real quick. The blue marker, that's forward, and it gets confusing when you get to like parts for the arms. Obviously this is not forward in here, so you just got to test it out to see. Let's see, I have to move this because my screen's all messed up. Let's see. So that is actually the back of it, and the red on the arms is the front. See? Okay. Controls. Alright. To edit these meshes, this is your selection tool down here. So you can click that, and this will let you select vertices. Left mouse click to select, right mouse click to deselect. If you press C, that will select everything. If you press X, that'll deselect everything. In the mesh editing mode, you can use, in order to manipulate these things, these vertices, use W to go up, S to go down, let's see, D to go right, A to go left, and then Q and E moves them forward and back. And right now I got the undo to go back 10. I could probably actually make that unlimited, but for right now I have it set at 10 because I was running into some serious freaking issues. Then let's see, I think that's everything with vert select. You can use also this inflate tool. If you hold shift and use your mouse scroll, that'll make your selection tool much bigger. So you want to make that bigger, and then you can inflate with the left click and deflate with the right click. And of course here's your values over here of your inflation strength. Kind of gets a little nutty if you go too big. And let's see, so let me load in something here. I'm going to pack all my saves along with the build, so you guys can have let's see, here's a default character that I have in here. Yeah, let's just roll with that guy. That's cool. Okay, so if you want to edit any of the body parts, you just click on them. And then we can go over here to the draw. And I think all this is pretty self-explanatory. Up here you got you got your label to show you what tool you have. I only have 3 tools right now. I want to add some sphere or circles and rectangles and junk, but for right now, it's just the paintbrush, airbrush, and paint fill. You have to realize also here. Let's go back to the default. This is something that you have to understand, is that these meshes are built on a square basis. So once you start stretching these things out, then things are going to get a little screwy with the UV painting. So I'll just show you. Like, you see how this is perfect circles and it's nice and pretty, but once you let's try this. Let's select all of these and make them bigger on the Y. See, it kind of stretches it all out. So you just got to keep that in mind when you are when you're making your creations, is that this all gets stretched out because it's all on a flat piece of paper. So the more you stretch the vertices out, the more you stretch the UVs out. So now when I draw on here, you see that my nice pretty circles are now ovals because it's all stretched out. Alright, let's see. So it's very possible to build some pretty cool stuff with this. And these are the characters that I've made so far. You can see that it's pretty cool. Alright, I want to exit out of here because I think that's pretty much everything. You do have to change the your draw size up here with the slider. I haven't put in the shift and mouse scroll yet. So, alright, so that's the character creator. The item creator is exactly the same, except for you don't have the thing up there. Let's see, load. I guess Maverick made a made a dice or die. Okay, that's the only thing I have saved so far in the item editor. I just made that yesterday and fixed all the saving and loading for that. So that's still in the process of being worked on. Okay, we can go over here to animations. I'll show you how to make animations. You can use the default one. This really doesn't make a difference. It's just more for visual representation. Okay, and here W and S allow you to move the camera up and down. Just like in the character editor part, you click on the body parts and you use these little sliders over here. The ball or the sphere that surrounds them, I was trying to get the colors so they lined up right, but you'll see by messing around with this that they're obviously not correct. Some of the axis anyway, but not correct. So, alright, I'll show you how to get this rolling. To store, you make sure you're on your frame number, and then you hit store frame. Then you can I have to adjust this a little bit so I can see, because my screen's all busted. I don't have this hooked up to the regular screen. So you can, Alright, my video cut off on me, so that's why it seems pretty weird that I'm starting off at this spot again. So anyway, what I was saying was, click on your body parts and you can adjust them. Oops. And you store your frame, and you can go to your next frame, and you can, over here, you can copy an entire frame and paste entire frames. Just make sure that you let's see, copy, and we'll paste that, and just got to make sure that you store the frame afterwards. You can then press play and see the changes that you made. So frame 2 and 1 are the same thing. You can change your speed over here, double click in there and play it. Woo. Yay. You can clear all your frames out by pressing clear frames. These buttons are pretty self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure that when you click on a frame, like I'm on frame 2, you see, and then I press add, it puts a frame right in after that. So wherever you're at in your frames, it'll stick another frame in right after it. And whichever frame you're on, that removes that frame if you click the remove frame button, and of course clear frames. So after you get your animations done, then you can save it. And I have a few here. Don't mess with this dragon test unless you load up the dragon character. Here, let's do that now. I'll show you what I was working on. This is kind of funny. Dragon. Load the animation. Dragon test. I was trying to take the arms and turn them into something else. Like, for instance, you know, wings for the dragon, which that does look pretty cool. I still have to work on it, so that concept is there. All the body parts will still act as though they're hooked into the same spot, regardless of where you put them. I'll show you what I mean by that here. But it does cause a problem for body part selecting. If I load in the dragon, you'll see that the wings aren't on in the arm spot anymore. I moved them back, and so the head's moved forward also, so none of the body parts line up. So if I click on the wing, it's not there because there's arm colliders that are in here somewhere that are invisible. Yeah, there we go. See? So I wouldn't mess around with that too much just yet, because I have to switch the colliders to actually selecting the meshes instead of the normal colliders for that mesh. It's a bunch of confusing stuff. Just try to keep everything, you know, simple for right now. To test out all of your stuff, you go into Profile Manager and then go to Create Profile. You can load in any of your models here, and let's see, let's load in Rick Sanchez. Alright, this is your first person shooter camera up here. That's your controls. It's WSDA, of course, normal first person shooter controls. And you can set all of your animations over here, so I could make that as my idle animation if I wanted to. It's a hit animation that Maverick made. It's pretty funny. So just turn that to idle. It's just very simple idle that I made. The zoom and clicking in the middle mouse button is the same for this. You just move the camera around and hold in shift to run. It's a simple run animation there. It's pretty funny. Wow. So anyway, so you can change all your animations to any of the animations that you create or save. And then you can save your characters, and it saves all their animations with them. I'll show you one that I made already. It has, all these. You saw Maverick's. Whoops. You saw Maverick's hit, and then I created another hit. And of course, you got to keep this in mind too: is that when you use the the animator and you move the head in the animation, then it does not free the head for looking around. It's kind of weird. I actually thought I had that set up a little bit better than that. For some reason the up and down isn't working properly. It was just a moment ago. Now let me exit out and come back in. Obviously there's some glitchiness in this. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Look up and down usually works. I don't know. Anyway, so this is this is it so far. I'm trying to think if there was some other things that I wanted to go through. So I'm going to be making vehicles and levels and stuff like that. I'll be adding that in soon, and then allowing you to make levels with somebody else, like using LAN and all that stuff. So have fun. I hope you guys actually play this and enjoy it.